Hello and welcome. Today, I'm going to introduce you to VolkScribe AI Pro by VolkForge Technologies. It's a professional tool designed specifically for vocational evaluators. This software transforms the way you conduct assessments and write your reports, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how it works. As vocational evaluators, we all face the same challenges. We're trying to take notes while actively listening to our clients. Our notes end up messy, full of abbreviations and typos. Then we spend hours rewriting those notes into proper report language. We need to ensure consistency across dozens of sections, and we have to keep track of timing, questions, and responses throughout the entire process. It's a lot to manage, and it takes a significant amount of time. That's exactly the problem this software was built to solve. It's a purpose-built application for vocational evaluators that handles everything from interview questions to AI-powered report writing. There are four main pillars to the software. First, expert questions, developed and refined by fully credentialed vocational evaluators who use these questions in their own work. Second, AI report writing that transforms your messy notes into professional language at the click of a button. Third, automatic timing that tracks your assessment, interview, and testing times. And fourth, flexible export options for Word, Excel, and text files. Let me show you how the AI actually works. On the left, you can see what real interview notes look like. These are messy, rushed notes with typos, abbreviations, and incomplete sentences, exactly the way you would write during an actual interview. On the right, you can see what the AI produces from those notes. Clean, professional paragraphs that accurately capture every detail from the original notes, written in proper report language. The software is powered by the latest Claude AI models from Anthropic, including Claude Opus 4.6 and Sonnet 4.6, which are among the most capable AI models available today. Let me highlight the key benefits. The AI understands messy notes, typos, abbreviations, stream of consciousness writing. The AI interprets it all correctly. You get professional output every time, with no spelling mistakes, no grammar errors, and unique professional language with each generation. The software is fully customizable. You can edit questions, customize the writing style, and adjust prompts to match your report standards, and most importantly, it saves you hours of work. What used to take hours of careful rewriting now happens in minutes at the click of a button. Now, there is something important to understand. It is your responsibility to review all AI-generated content carefully. Compare the output to your original notes to ensure accuracy. The AI cannot read your mind, and ambiguous notes may be misinterpreted. Always verify before including AI-generated text in your final report. Think of the AI as a highly skilled assistant. It does the heavy lifting of the writing, but you are the expert who ensures the final product is accurate and complete. I know many of you will have concerns about privacy and data security, especially when dealing with sensitive client information. This is important, so let me address it directly. This software uses the Anthropic API, which falls under Anthropic's commercial terms of service. Under these terms, Anthropic does not use your API inputs or outputs to train their AI models. This is the default policy, with no opt-in or opt-out required. API data is automatically deleted from Anthropic's servers within 30 days. You can verify this yourself on Anthropic's privacy page, which I'll display on screen now. So your client data remains private and confidential. Now, for those of you who want to go even further with data protection, Anthropic offers 2 additional levels of security worth knowing about. First, there's what's called a Zero Data Retention Agreement. Under the standard API terms, as I mentioned, your data is deleted within 30 days. But qualifying enterprise API customers can arrange for Anthropic to not store inputs or outputs at all. The only thing they retain are safety classifier results used to enforce their usage policy. If that level of protection matters to your organization, you'd reach out to Anthropic's sales team to discuss eligibility. Second, and this is the one I know many of you will be interested in, Anthropic offers a Business Associate Agreement, or BAA, for what they call their HIPAA-ready services. After a compliance review of your specific use case, Anthropic can provide a BAA covering their first-party API, which is exactly what this software is built on. Specifically, the Messages API, which is the core of how this tool communicates with Claude, is covered as an eligible service under the BAA. So if your organization handles protected health information and requires HIPAA compliance, there is a clear pathway to get there. To summarize the 3 tiers of privacy protection available, at the baseline, your API data is never used for training and is deleted within 30 days. That's the default, no action needed. Step up from there and you can get 0 data retention. Step up again and you can get a full business associate agreement for HIPAA compliance. All of this information is available at privacy.claude.com, and I'll put the relevant links on screen now. Let me explain in plain terms how this actually works, because I think it will put a lot of minds at ease. When you use this software, your data goes directly from your computer to Anthropic servers through their API, and the output comes directly back to your computer. That's it. There is no middleman. Your data does not pass through any third-party servers along the way. And I want to be completely transparent about something. While this software was developed by VolkForge Technologies, we at VolkForge cannot see what you input to the software or what it outputs. We don't have access to your client data. The information goes straight to Anthropic. It gets processed, and the response comes straight back to your PC. No client data whatsoever is sent to VolkForge Technologies when you use this software. So the question becomes, how much do you trust Anthropic? And I think the answer there is pretty reassuring. Anthropic is one of the largest AI companies in the world. They were recently valued at $380 billion. They're backed by Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and NVIDIA. They serve over 300,000 business customers. Their government offering holds FedRAMP High certification, which is the most stringent federal security standard for handling sensitive, unclassified data. This is a company whose entire brand is built on safety and responsible AI, and they have the infrastructure and the legal obligations to back that up. So to recap the privacy picture, your data goes directly to Anthropic, not through VolkForge, not through any third party. Anthropic does not use it to train their models. It's automatically deleted within 30 days. And if your organization needs even stronger protections, 0 data retention agreements and HIPAA business associate agreements are available through Anthropic's sales team. Now let's see it in action. I'm going to walk you through the software step by step, starting with opening a new assessment. When you first open the software, you'll see a blank assessment ready to go. Before we dive in, let's make everything a bit bigger for this video so it's easier to see. I'll go to Tools, then Interface Scale, and select Maximum. There we go, much easier to read. You can choose whatever size is comfortable for you. There are 6 options from small all the way up to maximum. Now let's look at the layout. At the very top, we have our header with the version number and a file indicator showing whether we've saved yet. Below that, you'll see 4 toggle buttons: Assessment Information, AI Configuration, Timing Controls, and Section tabs. You can click any of these to expand or collapse that section, which helps you manage your screen space. During an actual interview, you might want to collapse everything except the section tabs and your note-taking area to give yourself maximum space. Let's start by filling in the assessment information. I'll click Assessment Information to expand it. Here we have fields for the assessor name, client details, dates, referring organization, and so on. Let me fill these in. For the assessor, you type in your name here. Now, for this demonstration, I'm going to use a fictional client so you can see how everything works. Client gender, male. Client first name, David. Last name, Thornton. For the client reference name, this is how the AI will refer to the client in the report. I'll put Mr. Thornton. Date of assessment, today's date. Date of birth, date of loss, location, referring organization, claim number, and referring professional. You'll notice at the bottom there's a type of incident field. The default is motor vehicle accident, but you can change this to whatever applies. Workplace injury, slip and fall, assault, whatever the case may be. For this demo, we'll leave it as motor vehicle accident. This field actually affects the questions throughout the assessment. The words motor vehicle accident get inserted into the questions wherever they're relevant. Now let's save our file. Go to File, Save As, and choose a location and file name. While we're in the File menu, let me show you the Auto Save and Backup feature. Go to File, then Auto Save Settings. This dialog has 3 sections. First, Auto Save Settings. You can enable automatic saving of your full assessment file at whatever interval you choose, every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you're comfortable with. You can choose how many save files to keep, 5 files, 10 files, or you can select Do Not Overwrite to keep all of them. You can also set a custom folder name for your autosave files and enable Save on Close, which saves automatically when you close the program. Second, there are backup settings. This is a separate text-based backup that creates a plain text file of all your interview questions and responses. Think of it as a double safety net. Your autosave creates a full JSON file with everything, and your backup creates a simple, readable text file that you can open in any text editor to verify that all your notes are being captured. The backup has its own interval, its own file retention setting, its own folder, and its own option to backup on close. So you can set your autosave to run every 5 minutes keeping 10 files, and your backup to run every 10 minutes keeping all files, for example. Third, there are timing options. You can choose to only autosave and backup during an active assessment, meaning it starts when you click Assessment Start and stops when you click Assessment End. You can also pause saving during breaks, so if you take a 2-hour lunch break, the software is not creating unnecessary save files during that time. I'd strongly recommend enabling both autosave and backup. Your interview notes are valuable, and having 2 separate backup systems gives you peace of mind that nothing will be lost. Let's look at the timing controls. Click Timing Controls to expand it. When your client arrives and you're ready to begin, click Assessment Start. This records the exact start time and automatically fills it into the Pre-Assessment tab. You can see the timer is now running. When you're ready to begin the actual interview portion, click Interview Start, and this records that time too. During the interview, if you need to take a break, click Interview Break, and then Interview Resume when you come back. The software tracks all of this automatically. The same controls exist for the testing portion: Testing Start, Testing Break, Testing Resume, and Testing End. When the entire assessment is complete, click Assessment End. All of these times get recorded in the appropriate tabs automatically. Now let's look at the section tabs. Click Section tabs to expand them. You can see all the assessment sections laid out: Pre-Assessment, Personal History, Languages, Medical History, the Motor Vehicle Accident Details tab, Treatment and Recovery, and many more. To switch between sections, just click the tab you want. You can also use the Tabs menu at the top of the screen. This is especially handy if you've collapsed the tab bar to save space. Let me click on Personal History to show you how note-taking works. Each section has 2 areas. At the top is a General Notes box. This is a free-form area where you can jot down anything that doesn't fit neatly into a specific question. Below that are the assessment questions, each numbered with a response area. The interview questions in this software were developed and refined by fully credentialed vocational evaluators who use these questions in their own work. This means that especially if you are newer to the field, you will know exactly what questions to ask, and you will not forget to ask the important ones. It makes the entire process much simpler. You just read the question, type out the response using your own shorthand notes, and move on to the next one. This way, you will have all the information you need to complete your vocational report. Next to the colors, you'll see the font size controls, the minus and plus buttons. This changes the size of the text you're typing in the response areas. For this video, let me bump it up to the maximum of 22 points, so everything is nice and visible. Let me show you the text color feature. Up in the top right, you'll see color buttons: black, red, blue, and green. You can use these to color code your notes. Just select the color before you start typing, or highlight existing text and click a color to change it. Now, an important concept. You don't have to answer every question in every section. Interviews would take forever if you asked every single question from every topic. For example, if someone's primary complaint is cognitive difficulties, you'd probably ask all the questions under the cognitive section. But if there were only minor cognitive issues, you might just leave a few notes in the general notes area and skip most of the individual questions. The key thing to understand is that when you generate the AI report, it only processes the questions you've actually responded to. Questions left blank are simply not sent to the AI. It's as if they were never asked. So don't feel pressure to fill in everything. You'll notice there are buttons for adding education and employment tabs. Each time you click the Plus Education tab button, it adds a new education tab with a full set of questions about that educational experience. If your client attended multiple schools or programs, you add a tab for each one. Same thing with employment. Click Plus Employment tab for each job they've held. You can see the new tabs appear at the end of the tab bar. And if you need to manage your tabs, reorder them, or delete ones you don't need, click the Manage Tabs button. Here's a feature you'll appreciate. On the right side of each question, you'll see small Edit and Delete buttons. If you click Edit, you can change the question text to better suit your needs. Maybe you want to rephrase something or make it more specific to a particular case. If you click Delete, it removes that question entirely and renumbers everything below it. And at the very bottom of each section, there's an Add Custom Question button. If there's something specific you want to ask that isn't already covered, you can add your own questions. The best part is that all of these customizations, edited questions, deleted questions, added questions, are saved with your file. So if you spend time customizing your question set, you can save it and reload it for future assessments. You could even create template files with your preferred questions for different types of cases. Now, to demonstrate the AI features, I'm going to load a completed interview that I've already filled out. This is a fictional case of a gentleman named David Thornton, who was involved in a motor vehicle accident and is unable to return to his job as an HVAC technician. You can see all the sections now have data in them. Let me click through a few so you can see the kind of notes I took. As you can see, these are rough interview notes, abbreviations, incomplete sentences, the way you'd actually write during a real interview. Now let's turn these into a professional report. Before we can use the AI features, we need to set up our API key. Click AI configuration to expand it. You'll see fields for your API key and model selection. To get an API key, you need to create an account at Anthropic's website. That's anthropic.com. Once you have an account, go to the API section in your dashboard, and you can generate an API key there. Anthropic charges based on usage, how much text you send and receive. But for vocational assessments, the cost is typically quite reasonable. A full assessment report generation might cost a few dollars. Paste your API key into the API key field. For the model, I'd recommend Claude Sonnet 4.6 for the best balance of speed and quality. If you want the absolute best quality and don't mind waiting a bit longer, choose Claude Opus 4.6. Claude Haiku 4.5 is the fastest and cheapest, but may not produce the same quality of writing. You can also type in a custom model name if Anthropic releases new models. Before we generate anything, let me show you the writing style feature. Click the Writing Style button. This dialog lets you customize exactly how the AI writes. You can set the writing level, anywhere from grade 6 up to PhD level. Grade 10 is the default, which works well for most professional reports. The writing format controls whether the output uses paragraphs only, bullet points, a mix of both, or other formats. For most vocational reports, paragraphs only is standard. Writing length controls how detailed the output is. Thorough but concise is a great option. It captures everything without unnecessary filler. You can choose a tone. Professional report is the default, but you also have options like clinical, legal, plain language, and others. There's even an insurance and claim style option. Sentence structure, vocabulary, and paragraph organization give you even more control. And at the bottom, you have checkboxes for things like allowing contractions or eam dashes, and a custom instructions box where you can add anything specific. Let me leave everything at the defaults for now and click OK. Now let me show you something really impressive about the AI. Let me navigate to the emotional section. Take a look at these notes. This is what real interview notes look like. Look at the first question. You def struggling a lot. Depressed most days. Anxious ESP driving, but also JSA generally. Irritable with family, which he feels terrible about. Says he's not the same person he was before. It goes on and on. Stream of consciousness, abbreviations everywhere, typos, missing punctuation, words running together. Flashbacks of the truck coming at him when he's driving. Feels like he's failing everyone. This is the kind of messy, raw note-taking that happens when you're actually sitting across from someone conducting an interview. You're trying to keep up with what they're saying. You're not worrying about spelling or grammar. Now watch what happens when the AI processes this. I'm going to click Generate Current Section. Every single piece of information from those messy, typo-filled notes has been captured and transformed into clean, professional paragraphs. Now let me generate all the remaining sections at once. I'll go to AI Configuration and click Generate All Sections. This will process every section that has data. You can see the progress bar showing which section it's working on. Depending on how many sections you have and which model you're using, this might take a few minutes. Each section is sent individually with its own specific instructions. So the AI knows exactly what kind of content it's writing, whether it's a medical history section, an employment section, or an emotional difficulty section. Once everything is generated, you have several export options. Go to the File menu. Export to text gives you a plain text file with all your questions and responses, useful as a simple backup or reference. Export to Word Notes creates a professionally formatted Word document of your raw interview notes, with questions in bold, responses below each one, and an assessment information table at the top. This gives you a clean, presentable copy of your actual interview notes. Export to Word Generated creates a Word document with all the AI-generated report text. This is your polished report, ready for final review and editing. Export to Excel puts your data in a spreadsheet format, which can be useful for record keeping or data analysis. You can also use the Export to Text with Prompts option, which creates a formatted text file that you can manually copy and paste into any AI chatbot of your choice, Claude, ChatGPT, or whatever you prefer. This is useful if you want to use a different AI service, or if you want to reprocess a specific section with different instructions. For advanced users, you have full control over the AI prompts. Click Edit Prompts to see and modify the specific instructions sent to the AI for each section. Each section has its own tailored prompt that tells the AI exactly how to handle that particular topic. You can customize these to match your specific report writing style or your organization's requirements. Click Edit General Instructions to modify the master instructions that apply to all sections, things like writing style, attribution rules, and technical requirements. Any customizations you make to prompts can be saved and loaded separately, so you can create different prompt profiles for different types of reports. Everything saves to a single file. Your assessment information, all your notes, your generated content, your AI settings, your writing style preferences, even your custom questions. When you open that file next time, everything is exactly where you left it. You can create template files too. Set up your preferred questions, writing style, and prompts, then save it as a template. For each new assessment, open the template, fill in the new client's information, and you're ready to go. And that's VolkScribe AI Pro by VolkForge Technologies. To recap, it gives you a structured interview framework with expert questions developed by credentialed vocational evaluators. It records your timing automatically. It saves everything in one place. And it uses the latest AI technology to transform your raw interview notes into polished, professional report writing. It doesn't generate opinions or conclusions. All it does is handle the tedious work of writing up your own notes into professional language, so you can focus on what you do best, producing thorough, insightful vocational assessment reports. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps you get the most out of the software. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.